Stop solving issues that aren't the problem. How many times do you look at a file or look at a situation or look at a client and you're trying to figure out what the issue is and you're solving problems left and right to try and meet their needs? They have one problem here or they have one problem there, and everything that you're talking about is always just you running around in circles trying to figure out what they want to actually move forward. Happens all the time in real estate where they present an issue and you have to figure out that solution and then hopefully you can take one step forward. But the same problems keep coming up, or they come up with another issue. And what really is happening is they're not telling you the full story. We have to get down to the bottom of what the actual core problems are in sales in order to take the next step towards a place where we can solve issues that actually matter to move forward a transaction, to move forward a relationship, whatever the case is. Naturally, our instincts are to give an issue or a problem. It's kind of like our defense mechanism. We don't want to really tell you what the actual issue is. So we give up these red flags or these other weird problems that we're kind of making up with on the fly in order to avoid talking about the actual issue that's happening inside the transaction or inside a relationship. So one of the quick habits that you can do to actually have a chance to reach down and get into that core issue of a client is you have to ask better questions and you have to ask more questions. You have to figure out why they want to do what they want to do. So for instance, if you're talking to a client about a file and they're wanting a house that has a bigger master bedroom, and they bring up the issue as like, oh, well, we don't like this house because the master bedroom is too small. You need to ask why. Why do they think the master bedroom is too small? They may want to avoid that house, but in reality, they say stuff like, oh, the door frame's too small, we want it to be a double door, or we want the bathroom to be on this side, this doesn't feel right, whatever the case is. But when you dig deep down to find that actual core issue, what you find is they actually really just hate the small master because that's where they spend the most amount of their time. And right now in their house, they spend all their time in the master. And so what they would really prefer is just an entirely different house with the master on the ground level so they don't have to keep going up and down the steps. They kept finding issues wrong with that specific master bedroom in that house, but in reality, their whole issue was bigger than all of that combined. They needed that master bedroom to be on the ground level. A lot of the times they're looking at different components and they're trying to give you different items to hide from the big issue that they may not even know is the issue. And it's our job as an agent or as a salesperson to find that core issue. Once you find the actual core problem, then we can actually adapt and overcome and try and find the solution to that problem. One of the biggest ones we see all the time is when agents are meeting with clients for the first time and they're talking to them about their general situation on what they're looking for. And they'll say a lot of things like, oh, you know what, the roof needs to be redone, or I didn't really like this pool, or whatever the case is. And they're looking in an area that doesn't make them feel comfortable. And what they wanted to tell you, but they just haven't, was, Keith, I can't pay this price for this house. I can't afford this mortgage. And then instead of telling you, hey, we should drop our price 50 grand, they're actually telling you all these issues with all these houses that don't fit their needs. But in reality, they needed their monthly payment to be $600 less than what it is now. So what you need to do is dig down, find the core issue with whatever problem you're facing. That's the only way you can actually solve for something and move forward and continue to progress towards a successful closing. We'll see you guys next time.